One thing I know is that behind every successful and a great person, there is a story to tell. And some of these stories are painful, with a lot of trauma, and sometimes with a lot of bitterness. So today's episode is about a young man who will be sharing his story with us. Do not change the channel. Stay tuned. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Briefly introduce yourself.
I'm Josephat Kithenji. I'm born of Meru County, but I'm residing in Tharaka Nithi County. Currently, I am in Nairobi at Presbyterian University, taking theology. Yes.
Oh, nice. Theology.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your family background.
I'm born of 6, whereby I'm the last born. We have 2 gents and 4 girls, but unfortunately one passed on 2021, so we are 5 in number.
Yes. Do you have sisters?
Of course, we have 3 sisters so far. Yeah, because one passed on.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, she's the one that passed on 2021.
Yes.
Okay. Elder Ama.
She was the second born.
Oh, all right. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. How is your relationship with your parents, like your mom and your dad?
My relationship with my parent, I think it's good with my mom, but with my dad, I don't think, because we have never even talked face to face like a father and son. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I think my dad is that guy who was used to take beer a lot. He was a drunk man. Like, he was taking a lot of beer, so he had that mindset of fighting and destroying everything.
Violent, you say?
He was a very violent man. So I think we had never had a good time with him. Actually, I don't think even we have ever talked like son and dad, the way today's parents are. Okay. Yes.
All right. So how was that for your mom and your other siblings?
For my mom and other siblings, I think we have a good relationship, because my mom, she has taken care of me from class 6 when I came out of my original homeland to Tharaka Nithi County. So she has taken care of me from class 6 up to date. Right now I'm in university.
Okay, yeah. Hold on. You've said something.
Yeah.
When did you reside here at Tharaka Nithi County?
While I was in class 6.
Class 6?
Yes.
That was early?
Very early.
Mulikuwa mnakaa na nani?
Before I came here, my mom and my dad, they parted like 1 year before nikuwa class 5. Okay. So they parted after my dad trying to kill my mother. He tried to cut the hand once, twice. Then my mother decided to leave the home. But then she left us with my dad. And I think we were me and my sister whom I'm following. So we were just with our dad. He treated us not very good. Personally, not good at all. But at least my sister, she was treated somehow good. Yeah.
What about their other siblings?
The other siblings, they were grown-ups. They had jobs. They had left the homeland to other various places to look for something for themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your mom left.
Yes.
Akawacha peke yenu, you and your sister with your dad.
Yes.
The violent man.
The violent man.
Tell us about your mom leaving. What happened?
There is a time my mom had an accident. Then he was given a bed rest, I think for 2 weeks. But then my dad could say she's pretending. Like she had no accident. She's just pretending so that she can sleep. But then by that time, she tried to kill her while she was in bed rest. Then we were there to rescue our mom.
What do you mean he tried to kill her?
My dad was a man who could use two sharpened panga to fight. So when he could come very drunken, that's what he could be holding in his hands. So he was trying too much to cut someone, like to kill, like he was a killer by, I don't say by blood, but he was just that violent in an extent of killing. Yeah.
So he came home, found your mom resting
in bed. So he tried shouting and saying, this home belongs to me. She started saying, my mom, she's pretending she's not sick. So he entered in the house. Then we were like, what does he want to do? When we entered, we met him holding the panga now. And it was very shocking to us because now we are young. He wants to do something. So it came to our mind, anataka kumuua. So we just shouted, neighbors came. Then we pushed him out and locked the house. Yes.
And after locking the house?
So he went to his house, but then at that point, machungu yote alikuwa anatoa na mimi. Because that for time ni mimi nilikuwa very close to mom. Then my sister was a friend to him actually. So I was the block or the standing in gap of mom. So when I could be around, asira zote alikuwa anatoa na mimi. Like he could not even want to see me around. Yes.
You've said something. You locked the house and then he went to his house.
Yes.
Kwani walikuwa wanakaa kwa different houses?
Yes, at that point walikuwa wanakaa in different houses. Venye kwetu kulikuwa, we had many houses. Like he had built one house for them. That time they were together very well. But then this time kulikuwa na nyumba zingine zetu. Everybody had his room. His house outside. Yes. So my mom alikuwa na yake pia. As much as they are married, at that time sasa alikuwa shift to her own house. Yes.
So at the shift, so they were staying in different houses.
Yes.
Ooh, wow. This is a very interesting conversation going on right here. Do not change the channel. We'll be right back after the break. All right, before we went for a break, just Fatia was sharing with us. He was telling us about his home background. So, just Fat, yes. Tell us about your relationship with your dad and your sister. Why is it that they were close with your sister and not you?
Actually, I cannot say much about it, but it's something that I observed. As much as I was too young, you could see what is happening and give an answer to yourself. So what was mostly happening and what brought an alarm to me is my dad was a Jorin Cheke man. And you know, Jorin Cheke men, they were coming with meat from their meetings. So when he was coming with the meat, he could call my sister to his house now. They could prepare the meat, eat the meat, and I could not be given even a single piece. So that's what made me realize he loves her more than he do to me. Yes.
Okay. And he's your biological dad?
Yes, my biological dad.
So what happened? Your mom is on bed rest, and then?
So my mom is on bed rest. By God's will, she recovered. After 2 weeks, she was good. And then she continued with her business 1, 2, 3 as she recovers completely. So my dad did not stop the habit. He continued with the same let me call it spirit. So he threatened her the second time. That time, she penetrated into a very small hole. Let me say a dog hole, where dogs pass through, because our home was fenced. So when that night, actually that evening, he came, then he started doing the same thing that he was doing, speaking anyhowly, insulting. But then he now trying to kill my mother the third time. That was the third time, actually. Then my mother saw this is very serious, actually. He ran and entered through that small hole, and she left.
Okay. Hiyo time ulikuwa wapi?
That time, actually, nilikuwa nimetoka shule.
Okay.
I had come from school. It was around 6, 7. Yes. So I was still around the homestead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she disappeared, akawacha. And then after that?
So alienda katafuta a place to sleep over the night because it was too late. Then the following day, I could not go to school because that night I also did not sleep in my house. My dad broke into my house. Then I went out through the window. Then I went to look for a place to sleep where my mother was, actually, because there was a very good man who was rescuing us, or where we were going to for accommodation.
The same area?
Yes, the same area. Yes.
So your dad also wanted to kill you?
Yes.
Oh.
Actually, not once or twice. Yeah.
How many attempts?
I think before I decided to come out of that place or that home, it was my 4th time.
Your 4th time?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And ulikuwa class?
That time I was in class 5.
5.
Yes. But sasa nilitoka huko while I was in class 6. Yeah.
So alikuwa na attempt kukua wakati ulikuwa class 5?
Yes.
Oh.
The beginning.
And what was your sister doing?
She could do nothing because now you see my dad is a friend to her. He has a 2 sharpened sword. So she could do nothing. Yes.
Okay. So after your mom ali disappear, what happened?
So we were left with my sister. Then I grew up that period. It was very hectic to me, very stressful.
Tell us about that part.
Because I could not get food to eat unless I borrow from neighbors. I could not have peace of mind because when he comes, the first person to start talking badly and insulting and chasing away it is me. So it was very, very stressful moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what helped you at that particular time? Like, what made you keep on going and, moving forward at that particular time?
I was a boy who was deciding for himself too much. And because I had taught myself even on how to look for something with my own hands to take care of myself. Because some days I could not even attend school. I could go to look for a kibarua and to work for somebody to pay something for something so that I can cater for myself. Maybe to buy a donut and take for lunch or supper.
All right.
So That's what encouraged me most.
Okay. So what happened ndo uka decide sasa kutoka kwa hiyo boma kabisa, you follow your mom?
I think that time I was in class 6 when now I saw this is becoming too much, because there is a time I came from school and then I just went to sleep. Actually, I remember very well I was towards my exam, I think end term exam. Then I had some body problems, like I had acid. I was very sick, headache that day. So I just came and went to sleep. Then he came, drunken. He started now the same thing that he has been used to do to me. But that day, I don't know what came into my mind. I took my panga also. I decided now, let us know who is bigger or stronger than the other, because it is becoming too much.
And that time ulikuwa class 6?
Yes, I was in class 6.
A small boy.
A very small boy.
With a panga?
With a panga, he came with his. So I decided, let us kill each other, because now there is a time that comes, you just lose hope or give up. You say, let what comes, what given in the table to be served. Okay. So I decided we kill each other. Whoever dies first will go.
What happened? So did you two fight? I
was very sure I will kill him before he kills me. Because a drunkard man, he is not too stable. But then I started asking myself, what will be the results? But then I continued. I could not stop because I had that bitterness of every time crying, every time you're sleeping to somebody's place, or maybe he has come very late at night at 2, he broke your door, he entered, you went to sleep in bananas. So I had that bitterness. So I decided, let us kill each other. So when he came, he saw I have my panga. And? So he came now very boldly. But there was a man around who was, I think, passing by. When he saw what is happening, he called me. When I looked at him, he was a church man. So I got that small fear, even though I was so bold to meet the man, who is my dad now. I had that small fear. I thought otherwise. By then, as I was thinking otherwise, he had already been around me. He sprang up. So I asked myself, do I or not? By good luck, the man was very near to him. As he raised his hand, he held the hand. So that's where I now turned my mind.
God bless that man.
Amen.
He helped you.
Actually.
Yes. Okay. And then you went with the man, Ama?
I went with the man. I now started crying because of that bitterness. Sometimes we say when you don't cry, the thing is still in you. I just cried. Yes.
And then after that?
After we went with the man, that night I did not come back. But then the following day, I came back again. Then I tried to think, will I still continue being here? I told myself I can continue, but then if he continues, I think I should either poison him or I kill myself. So I thought killing myself was very easy than killing him. Yes.
So you went on ahead and bought the poison?
Yes, of course. Not even buying. You know, that time we thought this battery for radio or torch, it was a very nice poison. Okay. Yes, that is what I used.
So how did you go about that?
I took a very nice cup, a big cup, a mug. I put the poison in it and put water. I stirred. So it was my good time to take it. But then I don't know if it's God who cried for me. I asked myself, when I die, he will continue living. So what will I benefit?
Is it worthy?
Is it worthy to kill myself? So I think that time I thought of other things. I did not.
So you changed your mind?
I changed my mind.
Ulimwaga ama bado ilienda kukaa hapo?
Nilienda nikaficha kwa nyumba. There is a place in my room. There is a place kulikuwa very private. Nilikuwa nimetengeneza kakitu kakuweka my special things. Ndipo nilienda nikaingiza.
Mbona uliweka na sikumwaga? I
thought maybe in case that thing comes back, it will be easy to pick more than preparing another one.
What suicidal thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what happened?
So I did not kill myself. Then I continued with life. But then I did not even stay for 2 days there. It did the same thing. Actually, the last time, my 4th time, it was very serious.
Tell us about that.
It was around 2 at night when he now started his madness. He broke my door, literally breaking it. Then when he entered, he was drunk. Then I woke up. I could not enter through the door, the window that time. So I just hit him. He fell down and I ran. But then when I was running, he woke up. He drew the sword that he had to me. Ikanikata. I have a mark here. Yes, I have a mark here where it hit me. So I just ran, went. I did not come back actually. Yes.
Where did you go to?
I went and slept in a shamba. There is a place where there was a very nice bananas. So that is the place where I went and slept.
So you slept there?
I slept there. In the morning and woke up. I went to call my mother. I requested a phone from this blind man who was helping us too much. And I called my mother. I told her, this life I will not continue with it. Either I die or you pick me. Yes.
Okay, so this blind man is the same man that was giving you shelter?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So after you talked to your mom, what was her response?
It was painful. I told her what was going on. Then she told me she will send some money for me to travel within the day so that I can be safe. So I waited for some times so that my dad can go. Then I went and packed my things. Actually, not things, just to pick a bag with my school uniform and 2 clothes because I had only 2 trousers. Even not trousers, there were some 2 small trousers which were being dressed that time. Yes.
So ukapaga ukaenda?
I packed, I went. Yes.
Whoa, well, okay. This is a very touching story. Stay tuned. We have more for you. Welcome back. Josephat,
Yes.
after you ran away, you went on ahead and joined your mom.
Yeah. So we stayed with mom up to class 8. I grew up. Then after growing up, of course now you are a man. When you go to high school, you are different from the way you were. So I rented a house. So from Form 1 up to date, I have been alone in a rental place.
Okay. Who pays for that house?
Mom have been very helpful. Yes.
Okay. Up to date?
Up to date. But when I completed my high school, I started hustling. So I was catering for myself. But then I went back to school again in university. So she's now taking care of me.
Okay. So he tried to kill you several times. He made you go through a lot of heartaches and pain.
Yeah.
Have you forgiven him?
Honestly, I forgive him. But then there is a question that disturbs me too much.
Which is?
My dad have never given me 5 shillings from the time that I realized myself. Maybe from class 1, he had never even bought a pencil for me. Because I remember there is a time I told him to buy a pencil for me. He drew a shoe to me,
Okay.
chasing me away.
Na hiyo time pencils because natoka 2
5
bob
bob,
ama ndo 3
5 bob I think. Ile iko na hata raba. So my very big question is, will I honestly help him one day? Because now he has never helped me in one way or the other. He even don't know me how I do in my life. So will I really ever help him?
But you said you are forgiven him.
Of
Ama
course,
forgive
yes.
ni nini?
Yes, I've forgiven him. Yes. But then that's a question that disturbs me.
Well, I think when you forgive someone, you forgive and forget, and you know, you be willing to help them in any way they can. Ama kwani forgiveness ni nini?
Forgiveness, you may forgive someone, but you will not forget what he or she have ever done to you.
Now, how did the whole thing affect you?
It affected me because I did not have the fatherly love. So I don't know how it will be to my children, but I promise by God's grace, I will be able to give my children the love that I did not get. Because now I am a grown up, I have the lessons learned. So I think even though that thing, it affected me psychologically, I ask myself mostly, because I did not get that life, will I be able to give love to my children?
Okay. So what do you have to tell people that will be watching this episode? Because there are some who might be in such situation, by the way. There are so many that have grown without a dad and others without a mom. And with your story, like your dad tried to kill you, you know, you start asking yourself so many questions like, why would he do that? Like, I am his son. You know, kama alikuwanga stepdad, inaweza make sense kidogo. But hakuwanga stepdad, he was your biological father. Yeah. So what do you tell people that will watch this episode?
This life, it is not very simple. You might pass through challenges. Just be of good courage and stand firm. Mind your own business, actually. When you mind your own business, I think life will be very smart. So those people who are watching us, stand firm, be bold, be courageous, mind your own business. If you face such kind of a thing, be strong enough, share it. I could advise sharing much, because if you share, you will get correct guidelines, and you will be strong enough, actually. Yes.
So they shouldn't keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
It's not healthy to keep it to yourself.
It is not healthy. If it is possible, share it with people. And when you share, you release it. And when you release it, you are free to accommodate other than good things at progress of life.
Okay. Out of 10, how do you rate yourself? Like then and now?
Right now, I can rate myself at 8 out of 10. Yes.
In all ways, psychologically, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Okay. That's nice. You've heard from Josephat. It was not an easy story and an easy thing, especially if you had to go through that and experience that, you know, from your dad. But forgiveness is the key. You don't forgive for them. You forgive for yourself, for your own self. You do it for yourself. So anyone out there that may be going through the same or is in the same situation, keep on going. Do not give up, and forgive for yourself. So that's all we had for you today. Help us by subscribing to our channel, like, drop a comment, and share. Thank you so much.